fastest-growing city, is playing host to a pair of World Championship elimination bouts, but our marquee matchup is the heavy-duty affair to determine the mandatory challenger for a portion of the heavyweight crown. In our main event, the #1 contender, David Tua, will take on the #2 rated and former WBO heavyweight champion Chris Byrd and a heavyweight championship eliminator. The winner receives a mandatory shot at the IBF version of the title. We welcome you to the newly constructed Cox Pavilion, an annex of the Thomas & Mack Center on the campus of the University of Nevada in Las Vegas, Nevada. This will actually be the home court of the UNLV women's basketball entertainment venue off the world's famous Las Vegas Strip. Tonight, boxing's big men take center stage in a prelude to the heavyweight championship. The winner just one step away from a shot at arguably sports' most coveted prize. Hello again, everybody. I'm Bob Sheridan, and the desert temperatures soared to over 112 degrees outside, that is, but inside the conditions are just about perfect for world-class boxing, where tonight America presents, in conjunction with the Sunset Station Hotel and Casino here in Las Vegas and the Showtime Network in the United States, along with Sky Box Office in New Zealand, presents a show called Mandatory Wars. Once again, hello again, everybody. I'm Bob Sheridan, and I'm so glad to be your host for this evening's affairs. Well, we've got a lot going on in the world of boxing. I know that you all want to see the brand new body in David Tua, and you're going to see that, but it's about 10 to 12 minutes away before David Tua will make his way in. Let's take a look at the heavyweight picture. There you see the reigning IBF champ, Hasim Rahman. Johnny Ruiz has the WBA title. Rahman has the WBC, and the WBO champ is Vladimir Klitschko, a guy who won his title from the man you're going to see tonight, and that's Chris Byrd. Then David Tua, Kirk Johnson, Mike Tyson, and Kirk Johnson in the WBO. These are all the #1 contenders. That's what tonight's fight is all about in the IBF, because you see in the IBF, Chris Byrd is ranked #2, and David Tua is ranked #1. So for the winner tonight, it means literally not just the payday that David Tua is getting, some $2.5 million New Zealand, but probably 5 to 10 to golly knows how much they possibly will get as you take a look at the venue here at the Cox Pavilion as the crowd is jammed into this place, and it's a really wonderful venue. It's brand new. This is a new one for me too, folks, so I hope you enjoy seeing what we're showing you, because this place seats a little over 3,000 people for boxing, and it's jam-packed. They could have held it in a bigger venue, but they just weren't sure at the time when originally the fight was being put together. They were talking about having it outdoors at the Sunset Station Casino, which would have set, someplace in the area of 15 to 20,000 people, but thank goodness that they had better judgment and decided to come to the brand new Cox Pavilion, because as I mentioned at the very top, as you take a look at David Tua and Chris Byrd, it is sweltering outside. It's 8 p.m. on a Saturday evening here on the west coast of the United States. David Tua, I don't know if you can really see that cut body, but this is a brand new body. You haven't seen David Tua like we're seeing right now. Chris Byrd, I understand, from being on a couple of radio talk shows down under this past week, both in Australia and in New Zealand, I don't think that you folks really have an idea of how good Chris Byrd is. Chris Byrd is a tremendous fighter, and man, as you take a look at the lineup here that you're going to see, David Tua and Chris Byrd coming up, it's going to be a much better fight going into the fight. You never know what might happen. It's one of those fights that the bookmakers here in Las Vegas, where gambling is legal on sports, are saying, well, 8 rounds. 8 rounds is the definitive place, whether there'll be a knockout or it'll go the distance. Many, many people think that Chris Byrd can win this fight. The betting public here has bet David Tua started out at a $450, a minus $450 favorite, and what that means is that you have to lay $450 to win $100 on him, but that's been bet all the way down to $350 today, so some late money is coming in on Chris Byrd. Usually they say the late money is the smart money, but we'll find out what that means as we get closer to fight time here. Again, we're about, I would say, about 7 to 10 minutes away from the first ring walk. Let me tell you, as you take a look at David Tua, how well he's trained. Now you get a look at the body. He has that protector up a little bit high, working with his new trainer, Joe Goosen. This is the second fight with Joe. But Kevin Barry and Marty Pugh have done a tremendous job with this guy. They've just done a tremendous job. Tom Wilson was brought in as a strength and conditioning coach. They had Steve Murphy and Scott Hurd, who are neuromuscular conditioning coaches. They had Rob Crandell, the dietitian, in there. We've got an interview with David, so let's listen in and see what he has to say. The new and improved.
To lose in such fashion that I did with Lennox, I can't take that.
We have a unanimous decision.
I messed up. You know, there isn't anything I can express what happened that night.
All three in favor of the winner.
I kicked myself in the butt every night since the fight.
And still heavyweight champion of the world.
What went wrong, you know, I can't put my finger on it. But for me to learn from it, and I got to move on. To come back after the loss, fighting Donnell Nicholson, to end the fight with a knockout, you know, it's a great feeling. Tonight's fight is very, very important. It's a do or die. I just want to fight.
All right, Bob Sheridan back here at ringside. Glad that you're with us wherever you're watching around the world, especially everybody at Skybox down in New Zealand. We're glad that you can be with us. The David Tua, Chris Byrd fight is coming up. Might have a couple more features for you. I want to thank Marty Corwin, for our producer, for getting that little bit with David Tua, and the great job that Jody Heaps of the Showtime Network did in producing that piece. So you got a little chance to have a look at David Tua pre-fight. So we've got a feature on Byrd that'll be coming up momentarily. But let me tell you a little bit about Byrd as, well, let them tell you about it. Here is Byrd's feature.
I think I was 6 right there. And I still remember that, big gloves, no cup, no mouthpiece. Look, I had my church socks on. I have 4 older brothers that boxed, and a sister that boxed too. So my father also boxed, so it's in the blood. As I got older, my father just said, set a goal for yourself. And from that time on, 4 years straight, I was basically #1 in the nation. And then I actually made it to the Olympics after the final. You know, I thought I would be holding a gold medal. I was holding a silver. You know, you probably see dried up tears in the picture. My style of boxing is very unique, I think. I'm a thinking man's fighter. I am a smaller heavyweight, and I'm very competitive. My mother and father have been in my corner for so long to where, you know, I don't even see it as mother and father anymore. You know, I know for people watching probably think, man, he got his parents in the corner. You better do right or you're going to get a whooping. Vitaly Klitschko, I didn't know he was that tall. I'm like, hey, I'm here. It's time to fight. I can't worry about, you know, he was 27-0 with 27 knockouts. They stopped the fight. I'm like, what? And when I jumped up, I was just happy. When I fought Vladimir Klitschko, I had a scratch cornea. It would have been a totally different fight if I could see. And my father was going to stop the fight at one point. I guess my brother Patrick grabbed him and pulled him down, knowing that, because he know that there's no quit in me. Just keep fighting to the end. I know David Tua going to come with it. And I talked to him, he's going to keep coming. That's what I want from him. Keep coming. The ways to beat David Tua for me is to outbox him. I mean, obviously I'm not going to stand there and trade with him. My thing is to outbox him, outslick him, and I'm ready for the challenge. I mean, this is like I said, a thrill for me, like riding that roller coaster.
Well, you don't need to have me tell you. Just from that, you can see Chris Byrd. This is a live shot now, the #2 IBF contender. He is a wonderful, wonderful human being. We all know David Tua down in Australia and New Zealand, and certainly in Western Samoa and Fiji, where you're all watching and enjoying this telecast tonight. But this kid is a nice kid, too. By the way, David wanted me to be sure and say hello to his mom, Noella, and his dad, Tuivala, who I had the experience of being at their church down there. Don't forget, David is a reformed choir boy, but it was Dad, Tuivala, that actually trained him to become a fighter by having him fight the big guys off the street and dragging them into his kind of his market down there in South Auckland, New Zealand, and that's what got David started. David was so afraid, but Tuivasa changed all that, and here's his son now, one of the top-ranked heavyweights in the world. So Noella and Tuivasa, I know you wish you could be here, but David wanted me to be sure and give you a special hello. By the way, talking about Chris Byrd, you can see what a nice guy he is as well. He had to take out a full-page ad in the newspaper here in Las Vegas, Nevada, because nobody would fight this guy. And I was on, I mentioned the radio talk show yesterday with Brendan and Dobo and the boys down in the radio station in Auckland, and they were calling him Tweety Bird. And that, to me, is indicative of the fact that perhaps you don't have an idea just how tough Chris Byrd really is. Chris Byrd is no Tweety Bird. He's a guy who had 6 or 7 older brothers and trained in a basement of their house in an 8x8 ring, and he used to get up against the ropes a lot against his bigger brothers because the walls were so close. When he trained, his brothers would hit their hands and hurt themselves. So he learned to become a terrific defensive
needs to get
fighter.
inside by cutting off the ring. Can't stand outside and win. Also, keep the pressure on with combinations. Punches in Byrd's face. And lastly, his signature punch, the big left hook. Here, too, on the right against Donnell Nicholson. Now, even though Nicholson's not a southpaw, similar style to Byrd from the outside as an orthodox fighter. He's going to close the gap starting with the jab and then cut the ring off with a double left hook, dropping Nicholson, and this fight is over. There, gets inside quick in a double left hook. The first one not clean, but the second one right on top of it. Chris Byrd needs to set the fight distance, stay on the outside. That's where he's more effective. And also be what I say, effective in his awkwardness. His style gives people fits. And lastly, keep sharp. Keep up the defensive movement. He has to be awake at all times. Here, Jimmy Thunder's going to try a jab, and Chris Byrd blocks and fires right back with a left hand to the body. After doing so, he unloads quick combinations to the head, and Thunder gets confused. Now you watch a total of about 15 or 18 punches, and Byrd stepping around awkward again. Very quick, defensively and offensively. He's got fast punches, keeping his hands in the face of Thunder, keeping him hurt when he got him hurt. He's very quick, he's hard to hit, and he moves well side to side. This is how he has to win in all his fights, including against David Tua.
Okay, we thought you'd like that. We picked that up from the Showtime Network of the United States because the guy doing the description of his keys was a former champion, cruiserweight champion of the world, and Bobby Ches. So we thought you might find his keys to the possible victory tonight just very interesting. Well, there he is, Chris Byrd, the youngest of 8 children. He started fighting at age 5. Comes from a wonderful family, wonderful kid. Record of 33-2, 19 knockouts. He's out of Flint, Michigan in the United States. He won the World Boxing Association Heavyweight Championship bout with a 9th round TKO over Vitaly Klitschko. That was in April of 2000. In his first defense the following October, Byrd lost to Vitaly's brother, Vladimir. That was a 12-round decision, so lest you think David Tua should come out and blast this guy out in 1 or 2 rounds, this guy is slick. He's deceptive. He's a good defensive fighter. And beautiful music. Reminds me of the day I was down in that Samoan church in the South Pacific listening to this beautiful music as he comes in. I know it's not Samoan music, but it's certainly religious music. And this is, again, a wonderful, wonderful kid. You know, for the life of me, and I'm coming up to my 700th world title fight on television, I can't remember 2 nicer guys outside the ring than this man, Chris Byrd, and David Tua. Byrd went unbeaten for more than 6 years after he turned pro. He had a 26-fight win streak that ended when he dropped the 5th round TKO to Ike Miyabuchi, who David Tua also lost to, although David went the distance. Byrd, since that loss, has gone 2-0 following the loss to Vladimir Klitschko. And in his last outing, Byrd captured a lopsided 12-round decision over Maurice Harris to win the USBA heavyweight title on May the 12th. And I'll tell you what a family affair they have. His father, Joe, works with him, and his mother, Rose, the woman that you see, is actually his mom. And there's David Tua. This is the guy you want to see. And while we saw him briefly working out in the dressing room, what a job Kevin Barry and Marty Pugh have done with this guy. They've got him involved in all kinds of business deals. But in terms of training, this Joe Goose and the training they've done and getting him ready is nothing short of the cutting edge of scientific training. No other heavyweight, to my knowledge, has ever trained what I call bionic training like David Tua has for this. From ice baths, you can just see his body is tremendously cut. Tremendous. If it happens before the end of 4 rounds, it's a technical draw. After that, it goes to the scorecard. Those are the rules under which this fight will be contested. It's 12 rounds because it is an IBF heavyweight elimination bout. Here's Jimmy Lennon, our ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the brand new Cox Pavilion here at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is time for our featured bout of the evening, a heavyweight showdown for the right to fight for the title. It's Mandatory War, and it's all brought to you by America Presents Matchmaker Thomas Brown in association with Cedric Kushner Promotions, Fight Night Inc., Sunset Station Hotel and Casino, Showtime Championship Boxing, and the undisputed king of beers, Budweiser. This bout coming your way is sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation, the president, Hiawatha Knight, supervisor Darrell Peoples, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. Elias Ghanem, commissioners Amy Ayub, Glenn Carano, Dr. Flip Pomansky, and Dr. Luther Mack, with the executive director, Mark Ratner. Physicians at ringside, Dr. Margaret Goodman, Dr. Gino Signorino, Dr. Al Capana, and Dr. Jeff Davidson. Timekeepers at the bell, we have Jane Broadfoot and Jim Cavan. And our 3 judges scoring this bout, they are all from Las Vegas, Nevada. Chuck Joppa, Art Lurie, and Paul Smith. And the 3rd man of the ring, our referee in charge of this bout, Jay Nady. All right, fans, here we go. The time has come for our main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Heavyweight Championship elimination. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Las Vegas, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with white trim, hailing from Flint, Michigan. He weighed in at 214 pounds. With a record of 33 wins, 2 losses, he has 19 wins coming by way of knockout. Currently ranked the IBF #2 contender. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, introducing Chris Byrd. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue trunks with white trim, joining us all the way from South Auckland, New Zealand. He weighed in at a ready 233 pounds. His hard-hitting record stands at 38 wins, 2 losses, 33 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently ranked the IBF #1 contender. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the explosive IBF Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, known as the Tua Man. Introducing David Tua. Once again, a referee in charge, Jay Nady, now to give instructions.
You have any questions? Yes, it's 12 rounds. Please obey my commands. Let's touch gloves and go to work.
All right, you see the fantastic condition that David Tua, he's done everything he can possibly do, including ice bath shock thermogenics, which supposedly aids in the recovery of being tired when you're conditioning. He's done everything he can possibly do. Kevin Berry said, hey, the buck stops with me. If all we put into this, the business of boxing, doesn't work, then I don't know what we're going to do. But that isn't the way they're looking at this fight. They think David Tua really should do a job. But again, I remind you, Chris Byrd is a tremendous fighter, has tremendous physical ability. He will stay away from this guy. He doesn't want to mix it up with him, but he'll be right there in front of him. David has got to cut the ring off. He's got to move quickly. I want you to notice the right hand of David Tua and how often he tries to throw it now. See him trying to get in. See how slick Byrd is able to move down the ropes and back away. He'll stay in the ropes. David hasn't thrown. There's the right hand. 2 good right hands. He felt the bar as he nailed him with the left hook here in the first round. Byrd up at his toes, tries to answer right back, paws with the right hand. You see that Byrd jabs with that right hand. He's a southpaw, which makes it equally difficult for David to get in there. The best way to beat a southpaw is come straight down the middle with the right hand. David pawing with his left, looking to load up the right hand, which is something we haven't seen. From time to time, you'll see that he tries to get to the body. David is a very patient guy, though, and a lot of the guys he's gone against, including IBF Bochi and other fighters along the career, he's been patient, and like David Eisen and so on and so forth, and gone to the later rounds. But this guy he would love to try and take out because of the fact that Klitschko was able to go the distance with him. Klitschko is really being touted, the WBO heavyweight champ, as the future of the heavyweight division, because all that's going on in the heavyweights right now with Lewis and Asim Rockman and Tyson and Holyfield and all the rest, Johnny Perez, will all shake out in the next year or so, and David's going to be right in the position by April next year, should he win tonight, to take on one of those champs for the world title. Remember, 2 of the reigning heavyweight champions of the world today, he's knocked out. Perez in the first round in about 19 seconds. And while he had some problems with Rockman, he caught up with him in the later rounds. David is able to get into this guy, and it's going to spell trouble for Byrd. Byrd is an excellent boxer, which David has to deal with. He's got some tremendous sparring for this fight. You see Byrd get through with the jab. David gets hit with the jab again. And this is Byrd's strategy. This is the way he liked to fight it. David's got to walk him down, get in his face, try to get to that body without losing his patience. See him dig to the body with the right hand.
Don't grab him and don't hit him low.
Now you heard Jay Nady say, don't grab and don't hit him low. We're at the Cox Pavilion here in Las Vegas, Nevada, on the campus of the UNLV. Straight left hand down the middle, bounces off the nose of David Tua. David's got his hands high, digs to the body with a body shot, and right out of there goes Chris Byrd. You see how slick he is? He's awkward, tough to hit. David knows what it's like to have problems with the guys that are awkward and tough to hit because he had all kinds of problems with Lennox Lewis. This guy is much more awkward and a better boxer than Lewis, but of course nowhere near as big. David continues to hunt him down. No heavy breathing from David yet. And while it's air conditioned in here, a pretty good first round, it's still very warm under the television lights. Nothing like what it is outside in the desert.
You won that round because you landed the only hard shots. Where's the towel?
This is Joe Goosen.
You landed the only hard and good shots there. And I need a little grease, too. Don't blow your nose. Sit back and relax. Don't be aggressive. Don't let him out on this side, okay? You got to step over there with him. You see each time he turns and gets out, it's on your left side, right? So don't lean so far over here when you ain't here ready to hit that body. Stay with the body, okay? Don't sit there and play that chess.
Take him around. Just take him around. Keep your hands high. Yep. Hey, this your show, baby. This your show. Okay?
A little more water.
Give him a little more water.
I want to keep hydrated.
Chris told me yesterday, he said, I must do the things I do well and have fun in the ring and just do my best. See what he does and move and make him miss. That's his strategy. So far, I thought David eked out that first round just by the fact that he landed heavier blows. You hear Jay Nady say, keep your punches in front, but Byrd is slick the way he rolls his left shoulder away while stepping to the right, and David's hitting him in the kidneys. That's not his fault, but it's still an illegal blow. It's created by the spinning motion of Byrd. These are thundering shots to the body by David Tua. Byrd can't possibly hold up to that for many, many rounds because those are crushing blows. Slick straight right hand through. That was an off-balance shot that time as he went back on his heels. This is round number 2, scheduled for 12. I'm Bob Sheridan. Glad that you can be watching wherever you're watching around the world, especially everybody watching on Skybox down in New Zealand. I know how big this sporting event is to all of you. David plods forward, takes a heavy left hand straight to the noggin. Another good shot by Byrd, and you see what I mean about him being a slick boxer? He's got good hand speed. David kind of plodding like the old David Tua right here, but he has an intention of throwing that right hand much more, and that I like. And that I'm sure you like if you're a David Tua fan. David digs a body shot. Byrd just slips away. See the way he comes in, pushes him around. This guy is so slick. Some of the things he does, you don't even realize, but it's very, very difficult for David to get to him. There's that sneaky shot. David not afraid to take it, but Byrd is outboxing him here in the second round. And this is a round that unless David lands a couple of booming shots, the judges are going to give it to Chris Byrd. There's some tough body shots. Byrd has an expression on his face like, hey, that didn't hurt, but don't buy it. I don't buy it. David trying to walk him down, trying to get inside, right in front of him. He's not getting any angles because Byrd is using the movement. Byrd is getting the angles, not David. David's not dictating angles. Byrd is dictating angles, and that's why he's able to get through. But you heard what Joe Goosen said in between rounds about walking him down and not letting him slip out one way or the other. Keep him in there. Force him into the ropes and unleash that right hand. You see, Byrd just wants to catch the left of David because every time he catches it, David can't come back and throw the powerful left hook. And in spite of the fact that Byrd says he's not concerned with it, believe you me, he's aware of it. Nice combination by David. Right back is Byrd. Byrd touching him, no power, just trying to feel where he is. Throws, standing flat-footed. This is a big mistake for Byrd to stand flat-footed here. You see what I mean? David comes in, lands a couple of body shots. Nice shots by Byrd. Byrd has won the second round. That's a good round for Chris Byrd.
Good. We had that whole round, the guy got one little thing and you slipped it. I know that probably looked good to the judges. That last left hand, you know what I'm talking about? You slipped right there. I need you to whip back off those slips, okay? So you still got to edge more over to your left side. You know what I'm telling you? You can't let him out that side. That's the way he wants to go. Force him to your right more. Force him to your right, okay? And then start using your right hand more. Straight right hand. Start taking the lead with this guy. You know, hard feints, if you got to start taking the lead a little bit more, get it a little bit closer, all right? You're scoring.
Take a look at this replay. The last southpaw that Tua had to fight, as you look at the right-hand lead, which is really a left-hand lead for the southpaw. But the last southpaw, Jeff Wooden, back in March of '98, David had to go 10 rounds with him before he could beat him.
Leave the ring on the whistle.
Jay Nady telling the corner of David Tua to get out of there when they hear the whistle. It's 10 seconds before the 1 minute. All right, this is round 3. Thomas and Mack Center. I'm Bob Sheridan. Glad that you can be with us on Sky Box Office around the world. Glad that you're with us. David Tua in the blue trunks. Digs to the body. Comes with the right uppercut.
You got to keep those punches up. Get not on the bucket.
And again, you see that Nady is warning David about keeping the punches up. He's hitting him too much in the body. A digging shot to the solar plexus. Real good body shot by David. Another digging body shot below the elbow. Wow, with the left hook is David in round 3. David tries to walk him down, moving back and forth. Slips the punch. Nice combination by Byrd, showing his hand speed. David willing to take it. When he comes in, David's got to be throwing. He's powering with his left hand. He's so used to throwing that left hook with such power that he paws sometimes with his left jab. There's the right hand. He loads it up on the left ear of Byrd. Backs him off a little bit. Now David has him backing him off. Pretty good pace to this fight. A lot of movement. See the way Byrd, how slick he moves around, gets out of that situation where David's backing him off in the corner. David's trying to back him right up to the rope so he can unleash the right hand. Goes with the left hand. Missed a big shot, but came back with a pretty strong right hand. Nice combination again by Chris Byrd. He's outboxing David Tua right now. David goes with his straight right hand lead, and that's a key shot. Byrd tried what we call the right hand lead, but it was really the left hand lead for the southpaw. And he's slick with it. There it is right there. David doesn't seem to mind getting outboxed a little bit because he knows he has the power. And he's working to the body. He's trying to break his body down.
You can't hit him with your hand open, okay?
Now here's the warning to Chris Byrd.
But you can't hit him with your hand open, okay? You got to close your fist.
That's a good...
If you turn your back, it's okay to hit you there.
Good instruction on 2 cases. Nady told him if you turn your back like you're doing, he can hit you there. Digging right hand body shot. That's something that David was lacking before. It's so subtle that perhaps you don't really realize the tremendous work that he's done to develop his right side, but it's showing in this fight. Look at the combinations by David. These are powerful combinations. In a round that Byrd was doing a pretty good job outboxing David, I think the power shots have given the round now to David Tua. Because you have to have effective aggressiveness. It was kind of a south-of-the-border shot that time by Byrd. Nady let it go. There's that straight left-hand lead by the southpaw. Digging body shots again. Byrd trying to turn away as the bell ends. Boy, that's a close round, but I got to give it to Tua because of effective aggressiveness. The heavy blows that he landed had to hurt.
Water. You organize, give me the water. Don't get careless now. See what you got going. You got to turn him a little more. Turn him a little more. He's flat-footed. You turn him, you can't turn good. Run your speed off and turn him.
Okay, watch this now. You'll see the hand speed and the combinations of David. This is something that was lacking before. This is something that's not finished. Digging to the body. You see him turn his body away. Watch the power here. The power, then watch the combinations. Watch it right here. There you go. Right hand, left hand. We're not used to seeing the two-fisted puncher and David Tua like this. And remember, he's just working on this. Is some pretty good hand speed shown by Chris Byrd. But Byrd trying to work from the outside, not really effective. So I gave that round to Tua. I'm going to try and call this as close as I can. You all know, if you've listened to me call Tua fights before, I'm very fond of David, and I'm a big Tua fan, but I'm trying to give you a fair shake on how I call this fight so that we can give you the true, as a matter of fact, way the fight is going. And right now, David's getting some power shots through. We're in the 4th round. We're in Las Vegas, Nevada. The right hand crashes to the upper eye socket of Chris Byrd. Byrd nails him with a straight left hand of his arm.
Keep that hand closed.
Remember, that's the power shot. You hear Jay Nady, the referee, say, keep that hand closed. What Byrd is trying to do is to catch the jabs of David with his right hand and then punch with his right hand open. That's the slick move that Byrd has. And that's what Joe Goosen wants him to stop. Don't let him out, he's saying. Keep him in there. The way to do that is to throw the right hand. David's thrown a lot more right hands in this fight than most of the fights that I've seen before. He's definitely progressing as a boxer. Digging shot to the rib. David lets Byrd off the hook that time, lets him out. But Byrd paid for it before he got out. Good shot by Byrd. Those are his power shots, but his power shots don't seemingly even slow David down. Big right hand by David again. Left hook on the ear. Caught David with a pretty good shot that time, but again, it doesn't hurt David. David lifts his hands a little bit higher. Tua comes forward. See Byrd trying to catch with the right hand. David trying to set up the powerful right hand shot. That's why the shoulders are bouncing side to side as Byrd walks away and gets out of there. Sneaky shot inside. This is a tough round to score now because Byrd lands combinations from time to time that look very good to the judges, warning about the heads coming together. This is round 4. It's scheduled for 12. So already you can now see what I've been saying on New Zealand radio for the past week, and down there Ray Wheatley and the boys in Australia, that Byrd is a better fighter than perhaps you know. And David, too, is a better fighter than most people in the United States realize. As that left hand gets through by Byrd again. There's a left hand hook. It spins Byrd into the ropes. David tries to catch him out again. He didn't quite catch him flushly. You see how game this Byrd is? He's a wild Byrd more than a Tweety Byrd, believe me. And don't forget, this guy is ranked number 2 in the IBF, and he's in the top 10 in everybody's ranking. And he's a guy that nobody wants to fight. Now, there's a second warning by Jay Nady to David about low blows. As close as the fight is right now, is that straight shot again that caught David. I don't know. I think maybe Byrd outboxed him. David landed power shots. I got Tua winning 1 and 3 and Byrd winning 2 and 4.
Nice
dead even.
Again. I need 3 minutes. If we're going to win this fight, we can't leave any doubt, can we? Okay? We can't leave any doubt at all. You got to work harder. It's the 5th round. You got to work harder than you're working right now. Take a couple deep breaths. Here we go.
You just need to give me a drink of water.
Okay, watch the escape now by Chris Byrd. See, right in there as he holds his hand high, David comes straight forward. You see how the hands are straight right up in front of him? And now watch him come forward. Now watch the escape. Boom, inside. And then he runs around to the right side, past the left shoulder of David Tua. That's been his escape outlet every time that he's been able to get out of there. Every time David gets into a corner or up to the ropes. What David has to do when he takes a step to his right like that is slide to his left. Just a half step to the left and throw the left hook at the same time, and he'll walk right into the power. And Joe Goosen, by the way, told him that in between rounds. And again, referee Jay Nady, who's right on top of everything, is saying, close your hand. Okay to catch and okay to turn. But if you turn and you get hit, it's a legal punch. But you can't punch with an open hand. You got to close that. Nice straight left hand. Journeyman fighters would go with some of these shots that Byrd is hitting Tua with. I mean, Byrd has 19 knockouts and has 33 wins, so, you know, it's roughly half or a little bit more. David, of course, bombs out everybody who's a journeyman and has fought admirably against top 10 or 15 ranked fighters. David has actually fought better fighters, but he's getting a boxing lesson right now from Chris Byrd. There's no panic in the eyes of David at all. You know, after the 4th round against Lennox Lewis, he was so frustrated that he started leaving his feet, throwing wild left hooks. But we're in the 5th round here, and he's still all business. He knows he's being hit, and he knew going into the fight he'd be hit by this guy. Joe Goosen was fully aware, and Kevin Barry, Marty Pugh, the whole team told David this guy is slick, and David knows it. And he's prepared for it. So there's no panic. This guy really landing some shots, though. Great combinations by Chris Byrd. Now, when other heavyweights in the division see this, they're going to say, hey, you can outbox David Tua. That's what they're going to say. But remember one thing, nobody in the top 10 wants to fight Chris Byrd. Nobody will take the chance. Tua's taking the chance. As David thinks it's a matter of time that his power catches up with him. Notice the right hand inside that time by David. That time he stopped him from getting out. He did exactly what Joe Goosen told him. When he steps to the right and tries to get out, get your left hand up there. If you can't throw it, stick it out and hold him in there. Try to throw the right. 3, 4 jabs by David. He's pouring with him. Straight right hand, digging body shots.
Nothing low, nothing low.
Referee Jay Nady screaming nothing low, trying to keep it as clean as possible. Last thing you want, and this is a nice prize right now, is anything illegal to end this fight. Because this is a good fight. You've got contrasting styles. The big boomer in David, who's learning to be a better boxer, and an excellently skilled defensive, real good boxer in Chris Byrd. You don't get to be in the top 10 in the world and ranked number 2 in the IBF and a former WBO champion without being pretty darn good. And Byrd is showing he can box. Remember, there's a 19-pound weight disadvantage for Byrd, and David's trying to take advantage of it in here. Look at this action as the bell ends round 5. That's a Byrd round. So Byrd now is 1, 2, 4, and 5 in my scorecard.
Don't let him steal the round.
Nope, not at all.
You're fighting smart, but don't let them rope too long.
No.
You're giving up 20 pounds. You can't let them rope. Keep it inside the ring.
Get the what? I can't get the what out.
Keep it inside the ring. Okay?
Give me this.
Get a good ring.
Remember, when they talk about weaknesses for Tua, they talk about defense and foot speed. His foot speed has been a little bit improved.
Up now.
It doesn't show a lot because this guy moves a lot.
We did the training we did, Dave. You have to get in his ass and stay there. You understand? You got the mouthpiece ready to go? Hold on. A lot more head movement, but I need you to get inside, Dave. Stay in there.
You heard Joe Goosen refer to, you must get the training. I mean, you must use what the training has given you. By the way, Kevin Barry wanted me to mention the deal with the Monaco Corporation of Albany, New Zealand. David's thrilled to be involved with Monaco and all of the things that they've done outside the ring. Now it's David's job inside the ring. This is round 6. We're in Las Vegas, Nevada. David Tua to the left of your screen in the blue trunk. It's been a boot camp type of training camp for him, and now is the time that he must make Byrd pay. 10 weeks of training, and this is when it starts to pay off, through the middle rounds of a 12-round fight. Straight left hand gets through again. David's going to try and get inside those rat-a-tat-tat punches of Byrd. Digging body shots. David throwing full right hand. You see that right hand up by the ear? Got to get inside and get the power off. And as Joe Goosen was saying, move your head back and forth so you don't take the full blunt of those nice jabs and sneaky left hands by Chris Byrd. Byrd is flat-footed right now. David realizes it. He's cutting him off. He's got him back in the corner. There he goes trying to sneak away. David hangs him up with the left forearm and tries to land a right hand, but not in position. There's a shot that's a little bit low.
That was low. That was low. No more low blows. Okay, you understand that? No more.
All right, he's won him 3 times. The next time, I think he'll take a point away. He's won him enough. David is shorter by 4 inches, so, you know, that has something to do with it. The elusive movements of Byrd has something to do with it. The fact that Byrd holds his arm so high and David's trying to work the body to break it down has a lot to do with it, too. But nonetheless, for all those reasons, a low blow is a low blow. Real nice combination thrown that time by Chris Byrd. Byrd is really outboxing David right now. uppercut inside by Byrd. David continuing to dig downstairs. Noticeably, we haven't seen Dave go head hunting with that wild left hook yet. We haven't seen him really unload it. There it is. It crashes at the right side of the head of Byrd, but you got to say Byrd's in pretty good shape. That was a pretty good left hook. Not David's best left hook, but a good one. If it was his best, Byrd would be down. Byrd's only been down a couple times in his career, by the way.
Nothing low, nothing
Actually,
low.
as I look down at my notes, he's only been down once in it. So he's not an easy guy to put down. He rolls with punches. That, of course, was against Ika Biabuchi when he was down in the 5th or 6th round. I think it was the 5th round he got knocked out in that fight.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
Well, we're past that point because the 6th round there, I'm going to give to Byrd again.
All right, now look. Take that. Here, Elon, take that right here. A lot better, Dave, but you still cannot wait. What is this coming up right here? 7? This is 7. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Take a couple deep breaths. I know you're warm. I know you're warm. Okay.
A lot of talk about the low blows. I'm going to show you
now,
that.
Dave.
Here we go. Now you watch. You'll see it's clearly right there, just on the belt. Not down in the family jewels area, but certainly in an area that it hurts. And we'll show you the spin movement here again. Watch this. Watch Byrd. Boom, boom, boom around, and he spins David around. That's frustrating to David. And you know, in the second half of the fight, will Tua get frustrated like he did against Lennox Lewis? And this is where it proves how good his training has been. How good is the training? I'll get David behind as we go to the second half of the fight. Round number 7 from Las Vegas. I got him behind by 2 points in my scorecard. Byrd again with that lightning left hand power shot. Wow, with the left hand is David. That's only the second time you saw him load up with the right hand the opening second of this round, and he loaded up with that left hook. That's the first time we've seen it. Is that frustration, or is it time to put the lights on? That's the question. David appears to be totally under control, and I say this too, he's not huffing and puffing like I've seen him in the 7th round in other fights. He seems to be really in condition. It goes along with that 233-pound frame. Remember, in his last fight a year ago, 1 year ago at this time, he was 253 pounds. That's 20 pounds less, but this is tremendous condition. He also weighed 245, 243, and 247 respectively in fights, and he came into this one at 233. Byrd still outboxes him. Digging body shots, big powerful right hand gets through the thing. Many more right hands by David. He hasn't caught him quite flush yet because Byrd is very quick, and that's part of his slickness, getting those hands held high so that it's difficult for David to hit him with a flush left hook, or for that matter, a good right hand. But many more rights in this fight by David. He's now a two-handed fighter. And this is a 12-round fight, so hopefully nobody watching is frustrated just yet, because there's a lot more to go in this fight. And all these body blows that David has been landing this guy with have got to begin to catch up in the next couple of rounds. Byrd is a flat-footed guy, back on his heels, still throwing a lot of stuff, still landing. He's got good accuracy tonight. Don't forget, he trained as hard as he possibly could, because it's not only the millions that they're getting for this fight, which is a couple of million in David's case and $1.5 million in Byrd's case, but there's probably a minimum of $5 million on the line if you win this fight, because you're going to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world. And at this level, it's a profession. Prize money's all about money at this level. And all the deals we talked about that Marty and Kevin have done to get David financially secure so he doesn't have to worry about that thing. Byrd is concentrating on the boxing right now. David's job is in the ring. And I'll tell you what, in my opinion, Byrd outboxed him in this round too. He's just landing more stuff. The bell ends. The heavier blows are being landed by Tua, no question. But the amount of blows are being landed by Byrd.
Ain't enough. Okay? Got it. It was good. It was good, but I need more. Okay? Sit back.
I've got it 68-65 in my scorecard in favor of Chris Byrd. Notice David is not really huffing and puffing like you've seen him in the past. And notice how controlled Joe Goose is.
Can't let him turn you ever again. You cannot let him turn you outside again. You know what I'm saying, Dave? Don't let him turn you. If you keep him inside your arms right here, he can't do anything. He's just trying to score a couple of points here and there. He's not doing anything except moving and throwing a couple of shots. Don't even give him those, man. You're really out working. You're making the fight happen, but you got to make it happen more. They got to see you. They got to see you perform, not him. Do you understand me? All right.
Everything that Joe Goose said is absolutely true. But the problem is that in spite of the fact that David's forcing the fight, more punches are being landed by Byrd. Now, when you talk to two professional judges, some guys throw more for the heavy blows and some guys like a lot of blows. And that's going to be, you know, the way this fight's going to come down to, unless it's a knockout, which most people expect. Oh, David nailed him with a nice uppercut in there. A lot of punches now. David trying to establish himself here. Byrd tries to spin up. David holds him in. Just as he said, but look at this by Byrd. Wow, what a fight! We're getting some Pier 6 brawl here now. David pity-pat now, looking to land the big blow. Trying to load up either a left hook or a right hand. There's the left hook there, cut high in the ear. Looking for his shot. He wants to unload it. I can see it in his face, and he wants to unload the big one. Instead, it's that sneaky left hand gets through by Byrd. Byrd coasting now, back in the ropes. Throws his flutter of punches. With all those punches he landed, David just said, come on, throw some more. Here comes the big bomb. David's looking to throw it. He's just taunting him now. He's a bit frustrated, I think, by the fact that he's landing it, but David's totally under control. He's inviting him to come to him. David stepping back for the first time, inviting Byrd to come forward. We're in round 8. David wants to load up a shot. He expended a lot of energy with all those heavy blows in the early minute and a half of this fight. Straight left hand through by Byrd. Byrd now catching the eyes of the judges. The crowd really coming on for Byrd here. Got a lot of people from the Detroit and Flint, Michigan area here supporting him. And unlike the Lennox Lewis fight, not as many New Zealanders here to support David. He knows his mom, Noella, and his dad, Tuivala, are watching on Skybox Office in New Zealand. But that's not translating to a lot of cheers here. Boy, David looked so good in the first minute, 15 seconds of this round. Then Byrd had a pretty good last 30 seconds or so. Now David would like to finish the round strong in the last 40 seconds or so of this round. He needs to take this round. Digging, crushing body shot right to the lower part of the left rib cage. David trying to set up for a power shot, either the left hand or the right. Oh, the right hand was there that time, and he couldn't get it off because Byrd is so slick. He's so tough to fight this time. David leans forward, feints, loads up the right hand. Byrd catches it in the back of the glove. Byrd answers back with a jab of his own. Boy, this is a tough round to score. I don't know, I think I got to give that round to David because of the heavy blows early going. See Byrd shake his head. Byrd landed some good shots, but I think David landed more. I'm going to give that round to Tua. And Jody Heaps, who's sitting right next to me, who scores fights along with me, he says, I'd have given it to Byrd. I don't know, folks.
You only need one tired punch. One tired punch can put it away because he's tired. A tired man, when he starts throwing, he put everything behind him. So keep it turning.
This is 9, 10, 11, and 12. We got 4 rounds for 12 rounds. Non-stop punching. Somebody's got to do or die in here now, and it's got to be you. Do you understand? All right, Dave? Let this guy walk away with this here. He had one good round, that's it. I want you to come back.
Look at this. The hand speed and the outboxing maneuverability of Chris Byrd.
Come on, Joe.
Well, Jody scored that one in favor of Byrd He swayed me down to scoring it even. And I got it 78-75 in favor of Byrd with 4 rounds to go. David's got to do something dramatic. He's done it in other fights, as you well know. He had to go 10 rounds with Hasim Rockman. He went 12 rounds with Ike Biabucci, unable to pull that out. And it wasn't until the 11th round with Oleg Muskie in a very close fight that he pulled that out. There's a left hook. And that left hook, while it may not have got your attention, it got Byrd's attention. And not shaking his head back and forth anymore. Byrd wanted to complain, but it was a legal blow that time. And Jay Nady right on top said, no. That's legal. You heard what they said in David's corner. You got to be ready to go out in your shield. You trained for war, and you got yourself a war. David Tua, this is why nobody wants to fight Chris Byrd. Byrd just nailed him with a straight left hand. That's his power shot. Neither fighter has been down. Neither fighter visibly shaken. David has worked the body tremendously.
Don't grab him.
And a quick check with the press at ringside. They all have it the same way I have it. They've all got Byrd ahead in this fight, and it varies whether it's between 3 and 4 points. I've got a 3 points separating them. But David has got to win this round. And there's only a minute to go in this round. It's a key round of the fight. David realized that he's working as hard as he can. This is where all that conditioning should be paying off. But for the life of me, Byrd looks to be in tremendous condition as well. He's not really huffing and puffing, and he's working hard too. He's just flat out boxing David too. To this point, I've got to say it's a brilliant boxing performance by David Byrd. And you can see why Rockman, Lennox Lewis, people at this stage who really don't want to fight this guy. Klitschko was able to take him out. Actually, he wasn't able to take him out. He really had to go full 12 rounds, so it's no disgrace. The only difference is Klitschko was winning the fight. David Tua is behind. The only person ever to knock this guy down was Ike Biabucci, who gave David fits a couple of years ago, as you know. David having a good round now. He's winning this round, and as I say that, he battles back, and that was a Tua round. That's Byrd's wife, Tracy. Met her yesterday. She was there for the fighter interviews. Lovely girl. You know, this is a battle of two of the nicest guys I mentioned. Hear what they have to say over at Byrd's corner.
Roll it, roll. Give me the towel.
Watch Byrd here. Just really doing a job, and this is what I mean about outboxing. You can see why I've got it 88-85. I gave that last round to David. With 3 rounds to go, Tua has got to have them all on my scorecard. Mine's unofficial. You know, a lot of guys say that this guy, remember Pernell Whitaker, the slick little guy in boxing, what a great job he did as far as boxing. Great defense, bending over, staying away. Southpaw, awkward sort of guy. That's what Byrd is to the heavyweight division. Tua trying to catch up with him now. Landed 2 good bombs, one to either side of the head here. But we're in the 10th round. It's getting late. And Byrd's more than 3 points out in front in this fight. David has got to do something dramatic now. He did it against Hasim Rockman, one of the heavyweight champs. Boy, we talk about prize fights. This has been a good heavyweight fight. Nice left hook. everybody that's watching on Sky Box Office, I bet you're glad you came up with the pay-per-view money now, because this is a terrific fight. 2 more minutes to go in this round, underneath 2 minutes, I should say. I'm Bob Sheridan, glad you can be with us all over the Pacific Rim. Tuez not taking this round yet. Straight left hand again by Chris Byrd. Straight left again gets through. David trying to load up shots now, and he needs to. It's clear he can't outbox him. He needs to land a bomb to win this fight, in my opinion. Minute 19, minute 18, minute 17 to go in the 10th round. Byrd continues to outbox him. David bobs, weaves, makes him miss. Loading up body shots again. David really hasn't gone to the head that many times. He's probably done it more in this round than at any other time in the fight, and he needs to. He's going to drop this guy. There he is trying to spin away. David grabs onto him. Boy, he really takes the instructions of Joe Cooper. Loads up the right hand, but it doesn't quite get Chris Byrd. Instead, Byrd bounces. David's legs look a little wobbly there for a second, just in the accumulation of punches. David's back on his heels. Byrd nails him with the right hand. That's a hook for him. It's not his power shot, but David was back on his heels. Big shots by David Tua now. 15 seconds to go in the 10th round. David's legs are not 100% right now. Feints left, feints right, bobs down. Byrd comes through, David misses. Misses with the uppercut. David tries to hot dog it just a little bit. And there's the end of the 10th round. David throws a desperation shot at the bell, which draws the Bluebirds here. That was a Tua round because he landed a lot of heavy blows early.
Going into the late round. Now this way you got the
Jesus is king.
How you feel?
Feel great. I gotta do it.
Okay, you got to do it. Suck it up, baby. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna do it, Daddy.
Okay then, that's what we want. You wait too hard to go back now. And watch him in these last 2.
Oh, watch this, folks, now. Talk about some action here. Byrd's ahead of my scorecard, 97-95. And these are part of the reasons why. David missing desperation shots here. Little slip that time. Here we go, round 11. David Tua is running out of time. Although I had the 8th round even and Tua winning 9 and 10. If that's true on the judges' scorecard, it's 97-95. David Tua has got to have these last 2 rounds. All the questions, I'm sure by now, by everybody in Australia and New Zealand watching Sky Box Office realizes just how tough and why we were so concerned about this opponent. There was talk here in Nevada that David would blast him out the first and second, but the people that really know boxing are a lot more cautious in their predictions. A minute gone and nobody's won the first minute of this round. David's running out of time as Byrd lands a combination again. Byrd touches him up with that right hand. David trying to get inside to unleash a vicious shot. Digging body shots. It's too late for that now. David's got to go ahead on it. Halfway mark in the 11th round, and David is not in control of this round. Byrd is. David's very squared up with his legs right now. And when you have your heels beside each other, you're lacking in power. There's the left hand. Byrd gobbles up that left hook and just kind of puts a grimace look in his face, but almost like, hey, that didn't bother me. Nice shots here by David. But he hasn't landed one real punch. And that's been the problem with both guys, with the sole exception of IBF they've ever fought Byrd. Loads up the right hand, does David, but most of it whistles past the left eyebrow of Byrd. Oh, he gets nailed to that one, flush to the temple bone, but it doesn't shift him or even buckle his knee. Right hand again behind the ear. Byrd's sitting there, he's waiting for Tua. This is the opportunity with 36 seconds to go for David to score. He's got him where he wants him. Byrd may have run out of gas a little bit, but how much does David get this time? This is what he's trained for. Byrd tries to come off the ropes. David loads up the right hand. Shuffling backwards, back up against the ropes, trying to get whatever energy they can get a second win. David crushes him behind the head with that shot. David's winning this round now. Loads up the right hand. Look at the hand speed of Byrd coming off the ropes. David is going to be frustrated. Got him with a big left hook at the bell. But Byrd is all right. He was caught with a big left hook, and his legs are okay.
You'll win it. It's hard.
That's gas and center range of crowd. Gas and gas. Run off when those legs.
I got it 106 Byrd, 105 Tua.
The refs don't see, they just see him throwing, okay, in the crowd. But you got to, okay, I get it.
There's David with that big left hook at the bell, and that one did catch him. You see a little cut on his tongue. That one caught him. It didn't shift him, though. Byrd, I must say, has fought a remarkable fight against this heavy-hitting, well-conditioned David.
This is it right here. Do you trust me? I'm going to tell you, you need this round. Don't you trust me? You need it. Do you hear me?
I think that perhaps Joe Goosen should be a little more definitive. He needs to knock him out, in my opinion. All right, here we go. Both fighters have given everything they've got. It's been nothing short of a brilliant fight for Chris Byrd, and it's David Tua who's made the fight. You've got contrasting styles. David's tried to walk him down, hunt him down, but it wasn't until the last 2 or 3 rounds that David's been able to do anything with this guy. Held his own in the early going. Byrd had terrific 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, and then it began to swing a little bit. This is the way he fought him in those early rounds that Byrd was taking. David right now is taking it in the early going. He needs something big and something dramatic to win this fight, in my opinion. There's the right hand behind the left ear of Byrd. Byrd back on his heels. If I were Byrd, I'd do just what he's doing. He's fighting a brilliant fight. Let's keep doing that and stay away. Don't engage with this guy. Which the judges might have it a little bit differently. Again, the judging determines whether guys believe the power punches or the rat-a-tat-tat punches. But it's clear for me that the combinations of Byrd would have David behind in this fight. David needs a knockout, in my opinion. Minute 40 seconds, 42, 41, minute 40 seconds to go. And where's that big left hook? There's one of them that caught Byrd. Byrd doesn't even blink, though. He just bounces away. David not frustrated, but he hasn't been able to shift this guy at all. Blows up the right hand. Seen a lot of good things by David. His conditioning is fantastic. Catches him with the left. Byrd shifts away as he rolls with that punch. Coming up to the 1 minute remaining mark. Time is really running short for David. Neither guy is going to leave much on the table. They're both well conditioned for this fight. David desperately throwing left hooks now. Don't hold him. Under a minute to go. Can Tua pull it out? Well, Tua's winning this round. Seconds. Wow, with the right hand is Tua. Misses with the left. That's a desperation left hook. Now with 30 seconds to go, Chris Byrd back on his heels, dancing away, trying to stay away, just pouring out. David frustrated by the fact he can't land a big shot, a digging body shot. David's huffing and puffing, but still in great condition. Still plenty of power, but time is the enemy now. Inside of 10 seconds, it's not going to be a knockout tonight. Look at this. David giving it his all right to the bell. There's the bell ending the fight. On my scorecard, I got it a dead even draw. I have it 115 on my scorecard, but that's too close to call. That was a great fight for Chris Byrd. Tremendous effort by David Tua. 1 or 2 points, one way or the other. It just depends on if the judges go for the accumulation of punches and the number of punches, and if they call the punches that Byrd threw effective punches, then Chris Byrd will get the fight. If they go on heavy punches, David Tua will get the fight. The judges are Chuck Chiempa of Las Vegas, Art Laurie of Las Vegas, and Paul Smith of Las Vegas. Two of the nicest guys in the world of this sport. If every man could be like Chris Byrd or David Tua, this would be a very, very proud sport of boxing. He's a true gentleman. Who's boxing? There's Chris's wife, Tracy, with him. And Noella and Tuivasa, no matter what happens, you've got to be proud. They think they've won. His wife crying in his ear that they've won and how proud. Of course, it'll change their life if he hasn't. Because he's going to become a multi-millionaire with his next fight.
I want that Trinity that's praying for me. This is for y'all, all people that pray
hear
for
the religion.
You know I'm there.
And I've been in David Tua's church in Auckland. He's a religious man, too. He's the former choir boy. Well, Showbox, New Zealand, everybody at Skybox office in New Zealand got a show plus. And I'm glad for your first pay-per-view it worked out this way. Look at this at the very end. As you take a look at Bobby Ches and the telestrator saying, look at the way he's got himself protected. Look at the way David's bent over. And look at the way David comes out of it. Look at the way Chris Byrd's able to cover up, slide away, avoid the punch. You know, he said he was going to come out and just have fun. He did just short of that. This was a hard night's work and a hard night's pay. But look at this guy. About a minute since the fight's been over, he's not even huffing and puffing.
Yeah, you see what kind of
both of these guys in fantastic shape. Boxing at this level doesn't get any better than this, no matter how the conditioning, no matter how the scoring comes down, because both of these guys are in tremendous physical shape and put on a tremendous show. The contrasting styles made for nothing short of a brilliant fight, as far as I'm concerned. It's been a long time since I've seen a heavyweight championship fight that was as good as this one.
Yes, man.
We're getting ready for Jimmy Lennon. Here he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Paul Smith, scores about 115 to 113. Judges Art Lurie and Chuck Ciempa both score about 116 to 112. All three in favor of the winner. And now the mandatory challenger for the IBF heavyweight crown, Chris Byrd.
Well, a very disappointing night for David Tua on the scorecards, but you know something, folks? I can't argue with the judging. You know that I'm a tremendous fan of David, so perhaps my scoring was a little tilted his way. I tried to keep it as straight as I could to give you an indication. I thought David came on in 9, 10, 11, and 12 to give him the draw, but Jody Heaps was beside me, was right, because the 8th round is the difference in my scorecard, and that would have swung it, and is the interview.
It was a perfect fight. First, I want to say one thing. This was dedicated to Dr. Camp, who just passed away. His last words was, go get him. I went and got him.
Can you explain to our audience who that is?
He was Dr. Camp was a good close friend of my preacher and very close friend of mine. He just passed away of Parkinson's. We pray for the family. We love him. David Sage also.
Chris very few people tonight gave you a chance coming into this, and you kind of even downplayed your chances to us yesterday when you said, you know, if I lose, I'll just be a good cruiserweight and continue there. Was that just the possum?
Yeah, that was. Get people wondering, especially Max and Kenny on ESPN too. Yeah, I know. I ain't going on the. I'm not cruiserweight. I ain't going down the cruiserweight.
Why were you so effective, and why do you feel that you were able to keep David Tua from ever connecting on a big punch?
Just my boxing ability. I'm very hard to train for. I got a very awkward style. I'm a southpaw, and I'm very tough. He hit me with some great punches in the ring. I took him and kept going. Hit me with some good body shots, good head shots, but I'm very tough. I'm very competitive, like I said, in meeting, and I wanted it real bad.
It seemed as though you were very tactical. Really none of your shots, it seemed, Chris, hurt him, but you were able to keep peppering him constantly with the jab and keeping him away.
Oh, yeah, jab, I was getting it, but that body shot, watch out for it. Better cancel Christmas.
Your
Tim Littles, you know.
Your father kept telling you to stay off the ropes. You're giving up 20 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
What was the theory there? Because you got on the ropes a few times in the late rounds.
Yeah, Max, I was talking to Max yesterday, and he was saying, you know, the IBF USBA fight, I have separated ribs. Really, nobody didn't believe me. Going into the fight, I got on the ropes this time. I was just proving that I could stay there for a little bit with the big guys. I could see punches really good, and he didn't hurt me at all on the ropes. Actually, he hurt me in 12th round in the middle of the ring where they told me to stay.
Now, you're going to fight the winner, or the mandatory will be the winner of the Lewis-Rockman rematch.
Yeah.
What do you think those gentlemen should be thinking about? Obviously, they'll think about their fight first, but when they come and face you, Chris.
Oh, two great fighters. I mean, everybody get very prepared for me. And, you know, they just going to have to be very prepared for it.
Chris, stay with us. Stay with us here, Chris. Let us get David before he leaves the ring here. David, what happened here tonight? You were an overwhelming favorite, and everybody kind of thought that this was an afterthought fight for you, and you would prepare for the winner of Rockman and Lewis.
Well, I thought I did enough to win the fight, but first of all, I thank God nobody was seriously hurt, and you know, congratulate Chris for being a tough warrior. But you know, I thought I did enough to win the fight, and I thought if I wasn't pressuring, there'd be no fight. But you know,
if you weren't what?
If I wasn't coming forward and pressuring and making, you know, throwing punches, there'll be no fight. But you know,
he was making the fight the whole night.
But he was very effective at keeping you at bay, and you never really seemed to get off the big punch.
Well, you know, I think I was landing the clear blows and the heavy blows in the ring, and you know, I guess they were looking at a different scoring tonight.
David, much like the Lewis fight, it appeared to Steve and Bobby calling a fight, and a lot of the observers, that you were reluctant to throw the right hand again. Was the shoulder bothering you? Was there something wrong?
Nah, I was well prepared. I can't thank enough to the team tour for preparing me for this fight. I came prepared for this fight, and I can't take nothing away from Chris, but you know, I thought I did enough to win the fight, but you know, that's the way it goes sometimes.
Did you lose too much weight? I mean, you're down 14 pounds from your last fight. Was that too much, too soon?
No, I came out tonight and no excuses. I gave it my best, and I guess they saw another fight and another scoring for me tonight. So, but I'm happy.
What will you do next?
Well, I'm just gonna have to go back to the drawing board and come back better.
David, it seems as though these elusive fighters give you problems. What can you learn about these elusive fighters, Lennox Lewis and now Chris Byrd?
Well, tonight I thought, you know, even though he had that right jab of his keeping me at bay, but still I was able to get in the cleaner punches and the punches that score the points.
All right, David. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.